So China has now made it law that social media influencers will now be required to have a formal degree or certification to discuss topics such as medicine, law, or finance. Additionally, platforms must verify AI generated content and enforce strict regulations against spreading rumors, engaging in terrorism, or challenging the government. And going against this law will equal a $14,000 fine US dollars. And this is going to hurt a lot of people's pockets, man. If you've been making money doing social media, and I know stuff has kind of already been kind of iffy in China as far as what you are allowed to talk about. You know, they keep a grip on the words of people, but they've tightened it quite a bit with this. It's a $1.2 trillion industry just in China alone. So that number is going to be dwindled. It's going to take a hit. I ain't going to say it can't recover or this, that, and other, but it's going to be a lot of recalibration that people are going to have to go through if that was their topic of discussion mostly. If you built a channel via Instagram, YouTube, or I know their social media outlets are different there. Of course, there's a few of them. I'm going to butcher some of these names, but just name a few. WeChat, Sina Weibo, Douyin, Zhao Changshu, Billy, and Yoku, I believe, are some of the sites there. But it's like, for instance, if you have a channel that's built on healing and wellness, right? Natural remedies to heal the body, and not the actual pharmaceutical ways of going about things, right? Which they don't want you to discuss that, no way. But this is what your channel was built off of and became famous off of. And now you need a degree to do that. You ain't willing to go be a doctor right away. So you switch to music or sports. You're going to lose a huge following of people, or maybe you might keep some of the following, but they just stop paying attention to the channel because now you're talking about something totally different than what they've been locked into hearing you talk about for the last years. And then you don't even really want to talk about it. So, but you have to switch gears to appease the government. That's a huge blow that you're going to have to take. And a monetary blow is going to follow right on with that. Because if the people aren't watching, then you can't put ads on it. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing can possibly dismantle your channel. And you have to start a whole nother following, a whole nother angle and direction of which you want to go. Unless you really go to school and get a degree for being a doctor to discuss medicine. And even if you did do that to be a doctor, you still can't discuss natural medicine because they don't recognize that in the doctor's world. As we see here, our brother Yaki has had to switch up a lot of his verbiage and the ways that he talks about things that the natural diets that he proposes can heal. And he can't say they heal, or something to the wording that he had to start changing because the FDA, I believe, was getting at him about his word choice because, hey, you can't say that heals this or that is a cure for this or this, that, and the other. You dig what I'm saying? So just that's an example of something that we're already dealing with here today now, but just on a lighter scale. But if the country follows suit like other countries probably will, then who's to know the day and the time that the U.S. will be enacting similar type laws? You dig what I'm saying? And these things that are happening around the world, I don't want you to think they are isolated incidents, because they are going to creep their way into separate countries. This digital ID, they started shutting stuff down with that, I believe it was in Vietnam. That was 86 million bank accounts that they disabled because people weren't willing to participate with this digital ID that they're rolling out. The UK is losing their minds as well. They putting into action curfews, all type of stuff. Like they are starting to get to a place where they want to micromanage and penalize you for, down to the smallest detail. And if you aren't speaking the way that they want you to speak, we already experienced that here with cancel culture, right? You can say what you want to say, but you definitely, if it goes viral and people want to cancel you for it, then you can be doxxed and da 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 and this, that, and the other, and YouTube can stop you from being monetized. Platforms can stop you from being monetized. We see people get kicked off and have to go to other platforms and lose money and lose their channels. This is just the light sauce of what they're doing over in China right now, in other countries, as far as these other things, the digital ID. They're gonna bring these things to our doorstep, though. Don't think that it's not gonna creep its way here. If they start cutting accounts over in Vietnam, it's on the way around the rest of the world, just as you saw them do in the pandemic, right? One place starts forcing people, oh yeah, you have to take that to be able to get on this plane, or you have to take that to be able to come to work, and everybody else started following suit, and it took some people have to like lose their jobs and lose money and lose this to speak out and say, no, I don't want this. But yet, even still, we're still feeling the repercussions of that. You know what I'm saying? And they're still creeping it in on us in different ways. You understand what I'm saying? It's almost like that. The pandemic was the testing ground to put a lot of this stuff into action. Just like years ago when they used the Twin Tower attack as reason to start invading privacy, writing new laws on privacy, which bring us to where we are now, where we don't have any privacy, right? They're listening in on conversations and listening in on everything that you're typing and search history and this, and they can ping that and ping that. You know what I'm saying? So, but the thing about this that's so dangerous for the people, because you may be an advocate for this. You may be like, well, it's a lot of misinformation going on, and you want to stop people from just being able to say anything, and and people run with it as truth, because we come across this a lot. You get on social media and you hear something, you're like, oh, they said this, or this new law came out, and you're like, oh, what? And you know what I'm saying? You be finding yourself repeating the stuff and resharing it, making a video about it, how outraged you is about, like, I can't believe this and that is going down. And then you go look it up and it's like, that's not true. But you done already shared it and told 10 people about it. So it can get iffy in, you know what I'm saying, in that sense. But that's how they sell it to you. You understand what I'm saying? It's like they either sell it to you through means of convenience or like a scare tactic. Like they make you feel like you need it. So they'll be like, hey, this is the solution right here, right? Oh, so much false information and people saying this and saying that. You could get some false information and hurt yourself or something, right? So you need somebody with a degree to tell you this. But think about this. How many people at degrees right now that we have that are college professors that will get in front of a classroom and teach the students that there are more than two sexes on this earth? There's only male and female. But yet they want to argue that about sexes and talk about genders. Oh, gender's a social construct, and this, you can have binary and dairy, this, that, and the other. Male and female. And when we start fabricating that truth with how they feel, that's when they're teaching lies in the classroom. But they have a degree to back it up, though. You understand what I'm saying? So really that becomes the question is, okay, you have a degree, but does it really matter in that case? And like, yes, I'm not trying to just throw the whole, the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak. Like, I get that if you talking medical advice, it would definitely soothe your mind to know that you were talking to someone with a degree and went to school for this. You dig what I'm saying? So that's understood. But we also know that doctors can be bought off as well. They can be paid to endorse certain things. You remember that? I don't know if y'all know, but years ago, doctors were paid to say that vegetable oil and Crisco were good for you, right? Turned out to be totally false. They were paid to say that cigarettes were good for you. Turned out to be false. You dig what I'm saying? Right now, today in America, doctors are offered a lot of perks, trips, and different type of gifts and stuff like that to prescribe certain medicines, to push certain medicines more than they should. You dig what I'm saying? Prescribing them to patients that don't necessarily need them. So you see where I'm going with that. But long story short, they sell the stuff to you as you need it, kind of give you a scare tactic, and then find a way to sell it to you in a nice little package. Here's the solution. They started a chip, as I was mentioning once again. Oh, you can put the chip in your dog. Your dog get lost and walks around. Oh, you don't lose the family pet. The kids is crying, snotting at the nose. But you can just boop, and now you know where he is, and go get him. And then now it's like, oh, you can have access to see where your kids at. You don't know if somebody snatching them up and this, that, and other. So they sell it to you in forms that they scare you about it and then make you think you need it. Oh yeah, but you need it this way. You know what I'm saying, right? Because you don't want too much misinformation, and you don't want this, that, and other. So you really need this. And then once you get it, it's like, then you realize how overly well this thing works that they've sold you. But then it goes from being, oh, the chip is in your dog to find your dog, to, oh, now you have to take this chip, the digital ID, right, in order to access your bank account and anything else in the world. They're chipping everything right now, right? They started that in Sweden, putting the chip in your hand to be able to go to work and access your bank account and buy things. You don't need no money no more. You just go in the store, pick the stuff what you want off the shelf, put it in your car, walk out. It's automatically calculated, right? Because they don't want you to use money. They want you to digitize everything and digitally ID so they can micromanage and watch it and this, that, and the other. And so for me, it's gotten to a point where it is just out of hand. It has been trending that way for quite a while now. But now you can see like they're changing the laws. They're like multiple countries are getting on board. It's become a world effort, just as it's described in the Bible. And I hope we are not as close to it happening as it seems, but it is definitely creeping that way. If you know anything about the prophecy of how this all comes to pass. But it's very scary in how everybody is on board with this. And you're not going to be able to put the toothpaste back into the little squishy thing. Right? It's no going back. Too many people are on board with this. You got our president here losing his mind, putting the army on the National Guard on the ground, daring people to have a reason to really make them use force so that he can forcibly take over the country, right? So that by the time the next election roll around, it won't be an election. Like he's already got plans for getting comfortable, even though his term is up and he can't run it. But it's, he's taking away liberties. He's doing illegal things right in front of everybody's face, and nobody's giving any pushback. People, these countries around the world, the UK enacting curfews just out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to get to a point to where they're going to tell you every little thing that you can and can't do. And they're going to monitor every little thing that you can and can't do. Right? They're going to have access to your whole lives because you probably have a chip in you already. How they've been up in the technology to deliver the nanotechnology. It's in makeup. They've perfected using it in lettuce and tomatoes. Is right? So many ways that they've perfected using this nanotechnology and this chip technology that we have to fight, though. We have to push back. I don't know if the people of China are pushing back against these laws that they have enacted, but I don't like it. I don't like it for China. I don't like it for China. the only positive to it seems to be, oh, to stop misinformation. But you're taking away a lot of people's ability to be able to speak against government that isn't um, acting in the best interest of the people, which is something that we're going through right now here. Trump is trying to become a dictator. And so imagine if these same laws were enacted now upon us as we keep speaking out. And it doesn't seem like even speaking out is gaining much ground against what he's doing, but just imagine being silenced to the point where you can't even talk about the laws that are breaking in the unconstitutional things that he's doing. It would be like egregious, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not happy to see this for China. I don't know where it's going, but it seems like if it goes anywhere, the laws can only get worse from there. You dig what I'm saying? But I don't know. Tell me what y'all think about it. It's your boy P Camp. Let me know what you think, what you don't think. Get at your boy.